And welcome back to another NBA Sesh.
Yo, what up?
What's up, Avi? So, before we start, I want to say that I saw a very funny comment online. It was about Ben Simmons, and somebody made a comment saying that he touched the ball and his power, like basically the monsters from Space Jam stole Ben Simmons' powers. Just like in the original movie. I haven't seen the LeBron James version of the movie. I heard it wasn't good. So, but I thought that was funny. I just wanted to quickly mention that.
Well, did you see that meme of when they were playing the Cavs and what's his name? That center.
Do you have that meme on you?
Um
We're going to pull it up. You have it?
yeah.
All right, let's pull it up.
So, yeah, that meme and Jared Allen, they got tangled up and Ben Simmons pushed Jared Allen. Well, it's kind of like a video on a meme. He pushed Jared Allen to the floor and Jared Allen got up.
Oh, yeah, I remember
And,
that.
and he pushed them, and you could see like Ben Simmons' face, and someone wrote like, he's just asking to get injured again.
Yeah, he's just looking for an excuse to not play. And
Yeah, it was so funny.
It's such a shame. I know we spoke about this a million times. I don't want to talk about it again, but it's such a shame what happened to Ben Simmons. Really, I don't know what else I could say about that. But what I do want to say is it's also a shame what happened to the Knicks last night. They were robbed of that game, okay? That was crazy. I saw the replay over and over and over again, and those refs were out of line. I understand, but look, I understand they make mistakes. I get it. But how can you, on such a crucial moment of the game, just call it and that's it without looking at the replay? Did Coach Tibbs have a challenge left?
I don't think so, but
Because he'd definitely challenge it if he did.
yeah, I don't remember if he had a challenge left, but the refs actually admitted it, that was the wrong call, and now the Knicks are appealing the game. But I don't know what's really gonna happen after that. Like, to be honest, I don't know how the rules work. I could look it up, but that should easily be a win for the Knicks.
Well, hold on a second. So, it was a tie game?
No, it was the Knicks were up by 1.
Okay, and then he shot, and then they said that he got fouled.
And then Drew Holiday's brother, Andrew Holiday, I think, he shot a 3 that was like the chance of it going in. It was like a buzzer beater, to win the game, like a Hail Mary. And Brunson went up to try to block him. You could see in the video, and he just slightly avoided him. And you could see that Holiday had to like alter his shot. He like shot with one hand. It still hit the rim. It could have went in. So,
But it didn't go in.
It didn't go in. But they call a foul, and those 3 shots, and that's how they won the game.
So, if it was a tie game, let's say, okay, then let's say it was a tie game, and then he got fouled and he shot to win the game, then I would think nothing would happen. I think they would just leave the record the way it is and say, oops. But because the Knicks were up by 1, it's the right thing to do to overturn the game decision. All right, that was not a foul. They would have lost. That was a great defensive move by Jalen Brunson. We're doing so well. We've had a few hiccups since the trade deadline. We had injuries. Jalen Brunson came back from an injury. It's taking him time to adjust. But no, you're not going to...
It was a tie game.
It was a tie game.
It was a tie game.
Oh, well, if it was a tie game, forget it. They're not going to... What are they going to do? They're not going to... they're not going to just say, hey, we're going to set up another quarter for you guys to play. That's not going to happen. No way. That's it. It's over. They're not going to change that at all. Forget about it.
Well, they're challenging it, and...
Okay, and then they're going to... What are they going to get out of this challenge? What are they going to get? Money?
No, they're gonna overturn but it's rare for
But how are you going to overturn the game? Even if they don't count the shots, the foul shots, it was still a tie game. So what are you going to do?
trying to read it. Only one team has won a protest since 1982 in the 83 season, with the Heat successfully arguing that Shaquille O'Neal was ruled to have fouled out.
And
Um, it doesn't even say what happens.
nevertheless, I want to say this trade deadline was pretty wild. It was pretty wild, and I feel like not every trade deadline is this wild. There was just trade after trade being announced, and I think a lot of teams made a lot of good moves, and one of those teams were the Knicks, okay? It all started with the OG trade. Fantastic trade. It was sad to see RJ and quickly go, but what an upgrade. Doing much better. Then you get Bogdanovich, and you get back, what's his name? Alec Burks. Alec Burks was great for us. I feel like the reason they even got rid of him is to make cap room to sign Jalen Brunson. All right. So to get back Alec Burks and Bogdanovich, I said it. I said the Knicks have to make some kind of move to go to the conference finals. I think this move, when everybody comes back, everybody's healthy, this move puts them into the third round. I don't know if they could go to the finals, but they're going to give a lot of trouble to a lot of teams.
Absolutely. I think these two. I think that was probably the best trade of the
Deadline.
trade deadline. Yeah, you're right. And I think these two guys are shooting at least an average of 38% from three, which is really good. They're putting up like over 5 threes a game. They're hitting 38 to 39% of that, which is amazing. And this is exactly what the Knicks needed. Two guys that could create their own shot. Yeah, they traded pretty much all the youth is gone, but I think
Not McBride.
and he's like actually a really great backup point guard, and it's clear that Tibbs is not going to give him more minutes now, or as much minutes as he should be getting, especially once what's his name, OG comes back and everyone else. But McBride is a solid backup piece, and the Knicks are really slated to go. Yeah, I think the third round is pretty fair to say, and you could even see how Randall. We're really missing Randall right now because Brunson just put the team on his back. He's a dog, but he can't do it all himself. We're also missing our big man.
And I know there are a lot of people who have concerns about Randall in the playoffs, as they should have those concerns. But now that we have all these other pieces, perhaps they could take a lot of slack off of Randall, and hopefully Randall won't be selfish in the games. He'll learn to pass more, especially if he's struggling. Okay, so I'm very proud of the Knicks for making these moves.
Yeah, you actually make a good point. I think that we should now, well, obviously we can't trade him anymore until next season or the offseason, but I think now we could really see how Randall will do. I think this will actually be Randall's defining season, his playoff appearance, because he's got a guy like Bogdanovich he could pass to. He's a good passer too. He could be a turnover machine, but Randall's a great passer. And he got Alec Burks, Bogdanovich, knockdown three-point shooter who could actually create his own shot, not just stand in the corner. And you got DiVincenzo, who has been a steal and is playing superb basketball. So Randall could actually help us go all the way or to the next level, unlike the last couple seasons when he didn't.
Right, and I'll tell you this. What's also incredible about the Knicks is that they got these two big trades without forfeiting one for they didn't even forfeit one first round pick. When we got Bogdanovich and Burks, the only player we really gave up that was useful to us was Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes didn't even want to be in New York anymore, though. He wanted to have a bigger role, so he didn't fit. Now it's like 2 for 1, and everybody else, all the other guys we got rid of, they weren't even playing. Okay. And then with the OG trade, we got rid of RJ Barrett, which nobody even really talks about. People are talking more about quickly. Yeah, we got rid of it quickly, and we got rid of a second rounder, but two massive trades, no first round picks forfeited. Amazing. And I want to say that there was a prediction that the Knicks would get a superstar. They didn't get it now before the trade deadline. I said earlier in an earlier podcast, if it were to happen, it would happen with Zion Williamson.
Mm-hmm.
But now, well, look, Zion Williamson is not even like our first choice, okay, for Knicks fans. He's overweight. He has health issues, often injured. This is not the guy that we want. Now, if we see what we're going to see what happens in the playoffs, okay? In the summer, you never know. It depends on how everything goes. But now you could potentially have somebody like Giannis say, look, I'm not happy in Milwaukee. You guys brought in Dame Lillard. You guys, it's a mess what's happening. You guys fired the coach. Doc Rivers comes in. We're not doing well. I want out. I gave you guys a championship. I want out. Luka Doncic, if they don't do anything, it's like enough is enough. I want out. Ironically, though, if the Knicks are in the position to get Luka Doncic because we have so many draft picks, what do we do with Jalen Brunson? Like, didn't Jalen Brunson run away because he didn't want to play with Luka? Not because he hates Luka, but he just wanted to be the man, and Luka gets in the way of him and his development.
Yeah, they say that, even though Dallas did fumble it and let Brunson practically leave for nothing, I don't think Brunson would have been as good as he is playing with Luka. And that's why I think Kyrie Irving playing with Luka also is kind of repetitive. And Kyrie Irving plays so much better when Luka is injured. And it's actually kind of sad that the Mavericks don't put better pieces around Luka because he's a generational talent, and they got a few pieces in the during the trade deadline. But PJ Washington, yeah, he could play a little better than the role he had in Charlotte. He was coming off the bench there. Now he might start, I believe. But he's just another basic forward who could, put up a few points and grab a few rebounds. Is that really what they need, or they need that guy like an OG, that lockdown defender, that guy who could, a big man? They got Gafford, I guess, better than nothing, but Gafford's also kind of like a subpar center. You know what I mean? He's not like a great rebounder. He's just a big man. He's probably the biggest man they got on that roster right now. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of like the LeBron James teams when he was on the Cavs and he didn't have anyone.
By the way, speaking of LeBron James, the Lakers were loud and clear with their intentions going forward with their behavior in trade deadline. They didn't get anybody.
Surprisingly.
And I know why. That's because they decided to move on from the LeBron James era. They're just not saying it. Why? LeBron James is going to be a free agent this season. Everybody knows he's going to go where his son goes. The Lakers probably just don't know if they're going to get the son, and they probably don't even want to try. Okay? They don't want to fight for Bronny James. Why should they sacrifice more of their picks and their future and Austin Reeves with LeBron is most likely going to leave anyway, and most likely it's not going to even do anything for the team. Okay? So they were loud and clear. They know LeBron's on his way out. They probably would have traded him, but I think he might have a no-trade clause.
Yeah, I'm guessing he does.
Right? Like, otherwise, why not blow up the team? Or they don't want to be the ones to say, hey, we got rid of LeBron James.
Well, I don't think that they're going to go as far as trading him, even though that's probably the best and most shrewdest move to do, because then you could get assets for Anthony Davis, who's playing great, but is obviously injury-prone. It could go down at any minute. But I think LeBron James made his intentions loud and clear. He wants to play with his son Bronny and on the same team. So it's like, yeah, if the Lakers know that, right? I don't think anyone's going to call his bluff. Why would they make those moves? I get it. They have a guy like LeBron James who's still like really better than a lot of other players at the age of 40. And you could still possibly win a championship this season, which is not something do you give up all your future assets to win another championship this season with LeBron? Would you do that?
No, I wouldn't. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. In the summer, he's going to walk. He's going to leave. Unless they somehow get LeBronny. Then they'll maybe make some moves for LeBron James. But he's going to walk. They're going to trade Anthony Davis, get as much value as they can. They're going to build around Austin Reeves. I'm not saying Austin Reeves is a player you build around, but it's nice to have a young piece like that when you're trying to put together a nice young team moving forward. I think they should keep all their picks. They have a 2027 top 4 protected. They're most likely going to be a bad team. So I'm rooting for the Lakers. I hope they get that pick. I hope they get to keep that pick. They're going to have their 2029 pick. They're going to have their whatever.
Well, they're probably also banking on the fact that they'll get free agents to come and sign.
Well,
they'll get a couple guys to team up and sign on the Lakers.
Speaking of free agents, I do like the Spencer Dinwiddie pickup. Okay, they have a point guard problem. I'm not saying he's going to solve it necessarily, but it won't hurt to try.
The Laker fans, man, they think that they get any free agent guy, any bum off free agency, and they think they're back in the fold. This has been happening for like the last 2 years.
I know, and they say Knick fans are delusional. Laker fans are probably the most delusional fans in the league, not Knick fans.
Yeah, and they all like feel like they deserve to always be good. Like they made some trades. They were in the play-in tournament, right? Or they were in the play-in tournament when they made those trades that season. They got Rui Hachimura and some other guys. Then they went to the conference finals?
They went to the third round.
It was like third round. It was conference finals, right?
Yeah.
And, they got swept. But this year, they're not going to do that again because they suck.
Yeah, they're not showing any signs.
And those guys are not even good enough to, I think they got lucky. Because Anthony Davis was playing great. LeBron James... And it's not D'Lo's fault. I don't know why everyone's blaming D'Lo. Yeah, you expect him to play like that, the number 2 pick, right?
Yeah.
And he's been playing good when LeBron James has been
Right.
injured. I don't know why, but LeBron James has this thing with point guards that they just either run away from him or he just makes them terrible.
Yeah, what's going on? Is LeBron James was a coach killer. Now he's a point guard killer? Is that what's happening? And speaking of coaches, he hates his coach. He wants his coach gone. And the Lakers wouldn't even do that for him. They wouldn't even fire the coach. That means they're like, look, we're done. We're done with you. He's going to leave. They're going to trade Anthony Davis for as much as they can get. They should trade D'Lo for as much as they can get. Trade everybody.
But they're not going to get much.
Whatever. Trade everybody you can.
Honestly, I would. If they really could have improved their team by trading Austin Reeves this season, I would have done it. Because I feel like you could get a guy like that in the draft or in free agency.
But who could
He's
they
not
have
that
gotten?
good. He's a glorified role player.
I understand, but who could they have gotten by trading him?
Well, obviously, some of the DeJounte Murray was the headliner, big name.
But isn't DeJounte Murray a free agent coming up this season or no?
No.
Oh, he's not.
No, I think Trae Young has a player option, I believe. But there's rumors that the Hawks might want to actually trade Trae Young instead, which I think they should. I think Trae Young I don't think he's that good, honestly.
Well, if the Lakers could have traded, I don't know.
He's an all-star, but there's
hold on. Who would you rather have, Trae Young or Austin Reeves?
Trae Young.
With LeBron James, you think it would work?
Absolutely.
I think you're right. I think Austin Reeves.
Austin Reeves
is a good player, but
he's a solid piece,
right? But he's not a superstar. He's never gonna be a leader. He's not even
an all-star.
He's not gonna even be a Robin.
He's not even close to being all-star.
Just a very good role player, and yes, you can trade him for somebody that will help. But they're thinking, why should we do that if it's not gonna make a difference this season? I don't think they could have made any moves that would put them on the map this season. I personally don't think so with the players available. I could be wrong. Another big free agent that the Knicks might be able to get, by the way, this summer, which just like Zion, I wouldn't want him, Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is not only injury prone, but he's been known to disappear in the playoffs, as you mentioned in the previous podcast.
But you know what? The Sixers have got another piece. That was also another underrated move by getting Buddy Hield. I kind of wish the Knicks. Well, now the Knicks got those two other guys. We didn't need him, but that was going to be my next, best option, I think. But Buddy Hield's a solid piece, and that's going to make the team a lot better once Joel Embiid comes back. And I don't think that Daryl Morey would have made that trade knowing that Embiid will be out for the rest of the season and not be in the playoffs. So I think they're really going to make a stab at it. But yeah, I mean, like even with that, like unless Embiid really balls out like he was during the season before he went down, they have a chance. Otherwise, it's gonna be tough for them.
Man, you know what's interesting about the Sixers is they had a plan. Trust the process. Trust the process. And they had Michael Carter Williams, drafted number 10 overall. He actually played very well. Didn't he win Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, and then he
Won
bounced.
Rookie of the Year. Then they traded him, rightfully so, because at first everybody's like, "What are you doing? He's your star player," but that was just a fluke. He ended up being just a role player. Trust the process, just the process. They got Joel Embiid. They got,
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons. Then they made a stupid move. They made a stupid move by trading their first round draft pick, number 3 overall, for the first overall draft pick by getting Markelle Fultz. Markelle Fultz ended up being a bust. Okay, and they forfeited a draft pick a year after that. Instead, they should have held on to the number 3, and gotten Jason Tatum. They could have had Jason Tatum, Ben Simmons, Jason Tatum, and Joel Embiid. And then if they traded, let's say, Ben Simmons for James Harden, they would have had that big 3. Are you kidding me? I don't think whatever will happen, maybe James Harden wouldn't have left if you have 2 superstar co-stars like that. But either way, and now it's like everything's falling apart for the Sixers. It's interesting. They really need to do something to get Joel Embiid some help. Tyrese Maxey's great. I like the Buddy Hield pickup, but I don't see the Sixers going not even to the third round, honestly.
Yeah, like I said before, I'm gonna say it again, and I don't care. But Joel Embiid, as great as he is, he just has to play with another star.
A Batman.
Yeah, because he is just way too injury prone. And I knew, like, I was telling myself, I knew that as good as he's been playing, like, crazy MVP numbers this season, dropping, literally winning games on his own. Well, Maxey helped him a lot, but still, I just knew he was going to go down with an injury. It was just obvious. And fine, you missed some time during the season, but how healthy are you going to be in the playoffs? Are you going to go down in the playoffs again? And then are you going to actually come out and play hard too and not choke like you did the last few times?
Only time will tell. Avi, didn't you want to talk about a meme that you had it's like one of those fun question memes that you saw online?
Yeah, I did. So this is like this is by, I think, shout out to Overtime. It's by Overtime, but I think it was made by ZG Visuals. But whatever. So it's basically there's 3 teams. Team Red, you have Michael Jordan, James Harden, and Joel Embiid. Team Yellow, you got LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry. And Team Green, you got Larry Bird, Jason Tatum, and Giannis. Now, obviously, the question is, who's the best colored team?
What are the colors? Red,
Yellow, green.
I'm going with Team Yellow. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Steph Curry? Are you kidding me?
And let's assume these guys are all at their prime.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, yeah, because
Steph Curry, the greatest shooter that ever played the game, and he's not selfish. LeBron James, one of the greatest players, one of the greatest overall players. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan 2.0. I'm going with Team Yellow. Yes, Team Red is great. Team Green is great, but come on, man.
you know what? I was going to agree with you, but when I really thought about it, I'm going to go with Team Red because you got Joel Embiid, and we were kind of trashing him earlier, rightfully so, because he's injury prone, but who is going to stop him in the paint? Nobody. Nobody could stop him. Kobe is not as good as a defender he is. Kobe's not gonna stop him. And you got Jordan. Like, I think I'm gonna go with Team Red. Easy by far.
Okay. So you have Michael Jordan, Joel Embiid, and who else?
And James Harden.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm still going with Team Yellow because we don't need to stop Joel Embiid in the paint. First of all, you have LeBron James that could check him, but you have Steph Curry shooting lights out. Lights out, Steph Curry, the best shooter that ever played the game. I don't think you're stopping Team Yellow. Sorry. What do you guys think?
You know what? I'm still gonna stick with Team Red, but it will be a challenge. I think Team Green, Giannis, Tatum, Larry Bird is a dog, but yeah, they don't stand
No,
a
Team
chance.
Green is a fantastic team, but I just don't see them beating Team Red or Team Yellow.
You got Michael Jordan, bro, the best two-way player to ever play and live,
Okay,
aka the GOAT.
Okay, but you have Kobe Bryant, which is like a Michael Jordan 2.0. Then you
Michael
have
Jordan Jr.
Michael Jordan Jr. Not as good as Jordan, but still up there. Then you have LeBron James and Steph Curry. All right, look, my second pick after Team Yellow would be Team Red and then Team Green. For you, it's obvious. Team Red, then Yellow, then Green, correct? So we can agree that Team Green is last place.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm going to say this. As much as I got criticism for LeBron, I'm going to say he's probably the least selfish superstar player ever. And he always looks for the open man rather to score first.
Can you imagine if LeBron James, in his prime, played for a Phil Jackson in his prime? Like the triangle system?
Yeah, I mean, even if he comes to the Knicks right now, even though I don't like him using the Knicks as a way to kind of get his way in the with the Lakers, but if he comes to the Knicks right now, I think they'll be a contender.
But, we spoke about this before. The only thing I'm worried about is he's not doing well with point guards like D'Lo and Russell Westbrook. I just hope he doesn't ruin Jalen Brunson if he comes, which he's probably not going to come.
You're right. That's why I don't think that. I know people are going to be like, oh, Doncic, Knicks fans are delusional. But first of all, if I was Luka Doncic, I would really consider leaving the Mavericks if they suck. If they, and they're not going to go far in the playoffs because him and Kyrie Irving just don't, they're not going to play well together enough to actually beat teams because they're two of the same players.
All right, so check this out, okay? Let's talk about this realistically. Would Dallas want to trade Luka anywhere? Of course not. But if Luka says, I'm not playing for your organization, I'm out. Trade me. I've had enough. Which, honestly, I really don't think he's going to do that. But you never know. You never know. Because it's like, hello, right? Like, where are we going with this team? If he wants to go to New York has a buttload of draft picks to give. Because they're going to have to trade him somewhere. I listen, I'm sure they're not a fan of the Knicks, the Mavericks, because, whatever. The whole Jalen Brunson thing, and then the Mavs hustled the Knicks out of that protected pick. Okay? So the Knicks are going to give up a bunch of draft picks. And you know what Dallas might even say? Give us Jalen Brunson. Those two can't play together. Give us Jalen Brunson and those picks, and you could have Luka. Now, everybody's like, what? After everything Brunson's done for you? This is a cutthroat business. Are you kidding me?
Fire is dad.
I'm not saying like this is what I want to happen. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying don't be surprised if they do that. Hey, sorry, business is business. We love you, Brunson. We love you. But this is Luka Doncic we're talking about. Like Denver Nuggets, right? When Carmelo was there in his prime, with no signs of leaving. If Cleveland called and said, hey, do you want LeBron for Melo? Sorry, Melo. You're out. Right? Or if they did that with Miami, hey, do you want LeBron for D-Wade? Sorry, D-Wade. Like, business is business. You're giving us the greatest player in the world. I'm not saying Luka's the greatest player in the world. I'm talking about LeBron. You're giving us the greatest player in the world for our star? Let's do it. So,
It's
What
gonna
do you
be
guys?
hard though.
What do you guys think? Is that possible? I don't know.
I feel like if that hypothetically happens and Luca doesn't win, he's gonna have to leave New York because they're gonna want to call for his head. Because Brunson is like
Brunson can handle New
you
York.
could almost say he's a homegrown talent at this point because he's so humble. You know, he became so good. He became a superstar. I think he's a superstar.
I listen. I don't know if he's a superstar yet. I think he's an all-star. I don't know if he's a superstar. Oh, I think he's an all-star. He is an all-star. But I'm probably in the minority here. People are gonna probably make fun of me for saying this, especially after all my RJ Barrett comments. I'd rather have Jalen Brunson than Luka Doncic. If you're gonna ask me who I want on the Knicks, I'd rather have Jalen Brunson.
Wow, you sound like Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, is that what he said?
No, but I feel like he says like outlandish things.
Listen,
But
Jalen Brunson willingly came to New York. He wanted to be here. He can handle New York. He can handle the media. He's got the toughness. Okay. I'm tired of just trading for big names. Yes, Luka is fantastic, but can he survive in New York? I don't know.
you know what? As great as Luca is, I'd rather have Jalen Brunson because Jalen Brunson almost has it all. Yeah, he's a undersized guard somewhat. You know, shout out to Becky Hammond, but I don't think she knew what she was talking about. Uh, even though that she has a point in terms of the smaller guards have never actually won anything, unless you're talking about Steph Curry. But yeah, I think that Jalen Brunson is the heart and soul of the New York Knicks team right now. He's kind of like what the Knicks were in the 90s, right? And you could smell that competitiveness and that championship pedigree just like it's there. You know, we just one or two pieces, everyone got to be healthy, and like we could actually win. Because his dad, I think his dad played on the Knicks that same year, and they went to the finals.
Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna say though: if Luka says I want to go to the New York Knicks, trade me, and Dallas says, "Oh, give us Jalen Brunson," I'm the Knicks. I'm saying nope. We'll take Luka. We'll give you all the picks you want. And would it work though? Luka playing with Jalen? Listen, you never know. Because if we get rid of, let's say, what's his name, Julius Randle, because he's very ball dominant, and we just get another power forward who doesn't need to hold the ball as much, and then you just have two dominant guys like Luka and Jalen, I think it could work. Especially they both matured. I don't know. I think it could work.
Well, yeah, you know what it is about Jalen Brunson? I feel like he doesn't necessarily need the spotlight. You know, when he was on like the late night talk show with Jimmy Fallon, he was so humble. You know what I mean? Like it feels like he'll still work hard and he doesn't need that. And that pressure doesn't even affect them really. It doesn't look like it affects him like it did for RJ Barrett. So yeah, I think it might work where he probably will naturally have to take a step back. But I think realistically, if we do get, a star player coming to the Knicks in the offseason because of a bad performance in the playoffs, it could be Giannis asking for a trade. I know Paul George's name was, there's also rumors about him wanting to possibly come back to Indiana. But I think Paul George is past his prime. There's games that I
Why would he want to leave? The Clippers are doing so well.
Yeah, I think the Clippers actually have a chance to win it all too.
You know, what's
but
funny?
but he's just not. I think his role's so diminished on the Clippers that's why he's just not. Maybe he's just not comfortable, which happens when you have so many superstars.
Yeah, but fine. You come to the Knicks. You have Julius Randle. You have Jalen Brunson. What? He thinks he's gonna have the spotlight? He's not gonna have the spotlight.
And that's the thing. It's like he's injury prone. He's not as consistent as he once used to be.
Listen, man. You said that Clippers could win it all. I was trashing the Clippers earlier in the few podcasts ago. I said there's no way they're going all the way, and I'm still going to say that they're not going all the way. Yes, they're playing fantastic basketball. Very proud of them. I'm happy to see them healthy and playing well and competing. You know what? In some cases, I want them to go to the finals. I want Russell Westbrook to get a championship. What a Cinderella story that would be.
Yeah.
I don't care about James Harden as much as I do Russell
I'm rooting.
Westbrook.
No, I'm rooting. Yeah, you're right. I'm rooting for Westbrook just because he's been like. I feel like he's been true to himself this whole time. Kawhi Leonard is still one of my favorite players, and I do like I do like Paul George a lot. I do. I feel like he's those type of players are rare. The two way players that could really defend. You know, defense is so rare right now in the NBA. So you love to see it when they play both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I look. First of all, I don't think the Clippers even have a championship. So listen, it's about time if they could get a look. I like Kawhi Leonard a lot. I like Paul George a lot. I love Russell Westbrook. I think Russell Westbrook has been done wrong. I think everybody demonized him and blamed him for their problems. Kevin Durant, LeBron James. It's not fair. I want to see him succeed. All right, fine. James Harden also. Why not? If they can win a championship, that would be great. I'm rooting for them, but I just don't see it happening because you have a young run and gun Oklahoma City Thunder team. I just feel like they have that, and they're young. That's their secret power versus it's not a secret, but that's their power versus the Clippers. Like they're gonna out hustle the Clippers because of their stamina and their youth, So I don't know. And then you have the Denver Nuggets. All right, they're now number 4 now, but watch out. The playoffs is completely different.
Well, one thing I'm disappointed by the Nuggets is that they didn't really try to boost up their bench by making any trades. And I'm gonna give it the Celtics props because they got Xavier Tillman, super underrated pickup, amazing pickup for when Porzingis goes down every other game. He could drop 15 points. He's a hard player, and they gave up nothing for him. What were you gonna say?
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say this. I was just thinking about this, and you know what? I think the Lakers could have got DeMar DeRozan, and you know what? They should have went to get him because he's an expiring deal. He's still a solid player. They should have gave that pickup to get him, and maybe got Andre Drummond, and Lakers actually could have competed.
Andre Drummond's on the Bulls.
Yeah.
So if they could,
solid rebounder.
I'm not like a professional package, whatever, putting together packages, but Andre Drummond, DeMar DeRozan, and Alex Caruso for Austin Reeves and whoever else and picks, it's worth it. It's worth it as far as like competing and trying to go all the way. I think that would make the team a lot better.
Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell to match contracts and picks because they could also give pick swaps too. And you know what? You gotta bet on the king, and you gotta say, you know what, But I
don't
just
blame
don't think
them though because
I don't blame them because they know that if AD goes down, it's over, and it's over. And I think speaking of AD and being injury prone, I think the Hornets should trade LaMelo Ball because this guy is injured. He's misses like 20 to 30 games a season.
Yeah, but if I'm a team
And he's still young.
if I'm a team, why would I want LiAngelo?
There's always gonna be a
LiAngelo Ball.
No, that's his whack brother.
Wait, what's his
No
name?
offense. LaMelo.
LaMelo. Why would I want LaMelo Ball? Any team in the league, why would I want LaMelo Ball? He's always injured. I'm sorry, Hornets, you're stuck with him. Unless you give him away for nothing.
Dude, trust me. There's going to be teams that want him because they're going to roll the dice.
Well, then the Hornets should be the team that wants him then.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I was a GM, no, because now you could sell high. Like look at Lonzo Ball. He's done. He hasn't played in 2 years.
Oh, Lonzo Ball's done.
Remember when Stephen A. Smith called him out, and then Lonzo Ball's like, look, I could jump, and then he hasn't. I feel like he barely played.
Stephen A. Smith was right, and
Lonzo has zero trade value.
But I wanna also mention something you said about the Nuggets. That reminds me of what happened to the Celtics. So they lost Bruce Brown, the Nuggets. They lost Bruce Brown in the summer, right? Then the Celtics lost back after the 2008 championship. They lost James Posey, was it? And they haven't won after that. So, it's crazy.
They were older though.
Okay, they were older, but sometimes that one role player makes all the difference, man.
And they had Doc Rivers as their coach.
And that's why I knew the Warriors are done. Because in the summer, I think they lost 3 very important role players.
Oh, the Warriors are a mess, man. You got Klay Thompson. All he talks about is how he's like still confident. He still got it. This guy's like a soap opera. He doesn't stop talking about himself. And you got Draymond Green, who's just always like sharing his opinion and
Yeah.
chirping, and
The team became a circus. But speaking of sharing his opinion, what did he share recently about Nurkic and the Suns again? Nurkic said that he hasn't changed. So what would he say?
he said that I think in his recent podcast, he and Draymond Green's the only guy that uses the microphone, like that you get on the school stage.
Yeah,
Like I just always wondered about that.
because he wants to stand out. He wants to look different. We don't want to stand out. That's what we
We
have
wanna look the
the
same.
setup that everybody else has.
Yeah, exactly. He said like him and Kevin Durant are both whack or something like that. But you know what? I'm gonna give I'm gonna call out Nurkic here because I saw an old video of Draymond Green getting like tangled up with Ron Artest when Artest was in the Lakers still, and Ron Artest confronted him, and Draymond Green wanted nothing. He didn't want that smoke at all. And what Nurkic does, yeah, he doesn't want to get into a fight, whatever. I get it. He talks back, but like,
So is it worth for Nurkic to just be like, you know what, bam, just punch him in the face once, deal with the suspension, deal with the fines, deal with the public apologies, but then Draymond's like, yo,
yeah, and that's what I think the guys on TNT were saying. That's what people used to say about Blake Griffin, because everyone will like tackle him when you go for a dunk. He would never fight back. But yeah, I think Draymond Green will probably mess with the wrong guy. But I feel like there's no guys like that in the NBA that will actually fight back now.
you know what? I think I could think of a guy. Hold on. Who's a crazy guy in the NBA that would actually fight back Draymond Green?
Isaiah Taylor, the guy who almost went crazy on LeBron because he elbowed him or something like that. He's from the Pistons. Not Isaiah
I'm not
Taylor,
sure, but I
forgot his
think
name.
Dylan Brooks would. I think Dylan Brooks
Dylan
would
Brooks, nah, he's like a Draymond. Well, Joel Embiid, Giannis, all the guys that are bigger than Draymond. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Giannis would totally knock him out.
Westbrook would definitely go at him, even though he's half his size. Who else?
I think Jokic would.
Jokic would do that. Yeah, for sure. The Morris twins, they would probably still do it. Yeah,
definitely,
yeah.
definitely.
But I feel like there's a lot of guys out there that
Brooke Lopez,
yeah,
Robin Lopez for sure.
yeah, they went at guys. Isaiah Hartstein from the Knicks.
Isaiah
He
Hartstein,
wouldn't hold back.
Mitchell Robinson for sure. Mitchell Robinson wouldn't hold back.
I remember when the Knicks had Alfred Payton and Tyson Chandler, and there's this video.
Whoa. Alfred Payton didn't play when Tyson Chandler was on the Knicks.
They did.
Can't be.
He did.
Because Phil Jackson traded Tyson, unless Tyson Chandler came back to the Knicks, and I forgot. Didn't he come
sorry. It was Randall.
back? Okay. Randall would get at Randall
got him.
for sure.
But Jay Crowder in this video, as you could see, Jay Crowder he went up for a corner three. I think the game was over, and Alfred Payton knocked him down because like that's just disrespectful when you're winning like that. And there's this whole skirmish, and Randall came and like pushed the other guy. And then this other guy on the Memphis Grizzlies, I think he was like a security guard or one of the staff. He was like trying to aggressively like push Randall back, and Randall like almost ripped his head off. And then after, you could tell he like approached him quietly. He was like, yo, my bad, stop. I'm just trying to hold you back. So yeah, Randall and those guys would definitely do that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's enough NBA sesh for one night.
Definitely.
All right. Till next time.